Welcome back to the deep dive. We are doing something a little different today. Usually we look at macro trends or, big market shifts, or maybe we dissect a specific company's rise and fall. But today, I want to zoom in, way in. I want to talk about that specific knot in your stomach.
The 3.0 a.m. panic.
The 3.0 AM panic. Exactly. It's that tiny nagging anxiety that lives in the reptile brain of anyone who owns any significant amount of cryptocurrency. I'm talking about the seed phrase. The 12 or 24 words that stand between you and total financial ruin.
It really is the elephant in the room of the entire industry, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
for all the complexity, that's the single most stressful aspect of digital ownership.
It feels like a massive contradiction. We spent all this time talking about the future of finance, programmable money, decentralized ledgers, trustless systems.
Yeah.
And yet the security for all of it boils down to write these words on a piece of paper and please, for the love of God, don't let your house burn down.
It's almost medieval when you frame it that way. It really is.
Yeah.
We've built this incredible, futuristic financial system based on advanced cryptography, yet the user interface for security is basically a treasure map. X marks the spot.
And if you lose the map, the gold is gone.
Or if someone copies the map, the gold is gone. It's primitive. And that primitive nature is, it's exactly what we're exploring today. We have a massive stack of documents in front of us. White papers, technical documentation, user guides for a platform called Coinseal.
And this isn't just a wallet review. We aren't doing product reviews here. We are looking at this because Coinseal is making a very specific, very loud claim. They're framing themselves as a zero-hack security environment.
Which is a triggering phrase for anyone in cybersecurity. You never say unhackable.
Right. That's usually when the hackers crack their knuckles and say, challenge accepted. But we're going to suspend our disbelief for a moment and look at the argument they're making. Because their core thesis is that the current methods, hardware wallets, paper, metal plates, are all fundamentally broken. They call them cumbersome and, ironically, insecure because they rely on physical storage.
That's the key. Physical storage. That's the vulnerability they're targeting. Coinseal is proposing a shift to what they call inverted security and algorithmic scrambling.
Inverted security. Okay, it sounds like something out of a Christopher Nolan movie.
It does. It has that ring to it.
Yeah.
But the concept is actually grounded in probability math. So the mission for this deep dive is clear. We are going to unpack the Coinseal documentation. We need to understand how they propose to replace those 24 words we all hate with algorithmic equations, 4-digit keys, and get this, video biometrics.
We're going to rip apart the mechanics. How does it actually work? Because on the surface, trusting an app seems completely counterintuitive to the not your keys, not your coins crowd.
Which is a healthy instinct, a
Huh.
very healthy instinct.
Absolutely. But when I read through this documentation, I have to admit, my initial impression was relief. Just the concept of not having to etch words into a metal plate with a vibrating engraving tool felt like a weight off my shoulders. I hate that process. It feels so permanent and yet so easy to screw up.
That's a valid reaction. I mean, we are moving from an era of physical security, where you hide things under a mattress, or in a safe to algorithmic security, where the information is obfuscated. It's a difference between building a thicker vault door and making the vault invisible.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we get into the sci-fi sounding superposition features of Coinseal, we have to establish why we need this. Segment 1 of our dive is really about the critical failures of traditional storage. The source material identifies the biggest pain point quite clearly.
It's the length. It's the sheer cognitive load of 12 to 24 words. I mean, the source explicitly lists remembering your seed phrases and secure storage as the primary hurdles for adoption.
It's true. I mean, try memorizing 24 random words in a specific order. Cat, apple, syntax, bridge. After word 5, I'm lost. It's just not how our brains work.
Most people are. The human brain isn't wired for that kind of serial recall without, intense training. You might remember the words, but will you remember that syntax came before bridge, or was it after?
And if you get one word wrong or the order wrong, just one tiny mistake,
The checksum fails, the wallet doesn't open, the money is effectively burned, gone forever.
so naturally people write them down. But let's look at the competitor analysis provided in the source. They take aim at paper first. Now, we've all laughed about writing millions of dollars on a sticky note, but the expert view, the technical view, is about fragility.
Exactly. Paper is organic material. It degrades. Paper burns. Paper tears. Ink fades. Silverfish, believe it or not, eat paper. If you have a flood, or you spill your morning coffee on your seed phrase.
Your financial legacy is dissolved in a latte.
Precisely. It sounds funny, But it happens. I mean, we've all seen the horror stories on Reddit. People running into burning buildings, not for their photo albums, but for a scrap of paper. That is a fundamental failure of technology.
That's the nightmare scenario. But the source also goes after hardware wallets. And this is where I want to push back a little because I've always been told that a ledger or a Trezor is the gold standard. Cold storage. Air-gapped.
And they are a huge improvement, don't get me wrong. But they do have weak points. And it's not necessarily that the encryption on the device is bad. It's that the device exists in the physical world. The argument here is twofold. First, they claim hardware devices are hackable, referencing things like supply chain attacks or firmware exploits. But the more interesting point, and perhaps the more dangerous one, is that they are physically distinct.
Physically distinct? You mean because they look like crypto wallets?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If a thief breaks into your house and sees a ledger sitting on your desk, they know exactly what it is. It screams, "There is money here." It's not a random USB stick.
It's a totem. It signals value.
It's a target. It's like leaving a wallet on the table, but the wallet has a neon sign pointing to it. And this connects directly to the wrench attack vector.
Right, the old XKCD comic. A $5 wrench can crack a $5,000 firewall.
Yeah. If I see the device, I know you have the keys, I can threaten you until you unlock it. The device itself becomes a liability. It marks you as a sovereign individual, which, in the real world, makes you a juicy target.
That connects to their point about safes and metal plates. I've seen those metal kits where you slide letters into a steel cassette. They feel indestructible, nuclear-proof almost. But Coinseal argues that if you have a safe, you have a target.
It's the targeting problem again. It's the same logic. If you have a safe, a burglar knows the valuables are inside. Engraving your seed phrase on metal just ensures that the seed phrase survives the fire. It doesn't ensure it survives the thief.
So if they crack the safe, you've just handed them a very durable, very easy-to-read copy of your private key.
Here you go, Mr. Robber. This won't rust or fade. Enjoy my Bitcoin. It's ironic, isn't it? We buy these things to feel safe, but they actually increase the surface area of the threat in the physical world. They advertise the prize.
And then there's the lazy option, or, the less informed option, online storage. The people who screenshot their seed phrase or put it in one password.
Which is the cardinal sin of crypto security. I mean, the source points out that current online solutions often store seed phrases in their original unsafe order on cloud servers.
Even if the password manager is encrypted, is that still a risk?
It's a huge risk. If the endpoint is compromised, or if your iCloud is hacked, or if malware on your phone captures the screenshot before it's even encrypted, it's game over. The thief doesn't need to come to your house. They just drain your wallet from a basement in a different hemisphere.
So when you synthesize all these points, paper is fragile, hardware is a physical target, metal is just a durable target, and cloud is leaky, you end up with this massive fear factor.
It is a psychological burden. The documentation touches on this heavily. It's the constant background worry of, what if I lose the paper? Or what if the safe isn't safe? Or did I back it up correctly? It stops being about financial freedom and starts being about asset management anxiety. You become a custodian of your own stress.
Which is the opposite of why we got into crypto in the first place. We wanted sovereignty, not a second job as a security guard.
Exactly. We wanted to be our own bank, but we forgot that banks have vaults, armed guards, and, federal insurance. We have a sock drawer.
That is the perfect setup for segment 2, Enter Coinseal. They are pitching this core concept called inverted security.
This is where it gets fascinating. The solution overview is simple. Shorten the seed to a fraction of its length and make it memorable. But the execution is surprisingly complex.
It starts with a 4-digit key. Now, immediately, the skeptic in me hears 4-digit PN, and I think of my debit card. And I think, that is not secure enough for crypto. My debit card PAN is secure because the bank freezes the ATM after 3 tries, but the blockchain doesn't freeze.
You are absolutely right to be skeptical. A 4-digit PIN is only 10,000 combinations.
Yeah.
0000 to 9999. A modern computer could brute force that in a fraction of a second.
Exactly. So how does Coinseal justify this? If they are claiming zero hack, using a 4-digit PIN seems like leaving the front door wide open.
Because it's not just a PIN. This 4-digit key is the result of a proprietary algorithmic equation. And here is the crucial detail that stood out to me in the white paper. This key is generated offline.
Meaning Coinseal, the company, doesn't give it to you. It's not assigned to you.
No, and Coinseal doesn't have it. They can't access it. The documentation states explicitly, no one except the user will know the key, not even Coinseal. You generate it yourself using their offline equation. It never touches their servers, ever.
That is a huge distinction. If they don't have the key, they can't lose it in a database leak. They can't be subpoenaed for it.
Correct. But let's go back to your brute force concern. It's a good one. What happens if a hacker gets your phone and tries to guess the PIN?
Right. They try 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 5.
If this were a standard login, the app would shake and say access denied.
Giving the hacker feedback. Wrong. Try again.
Exactly. It confirms the existence of a correct answer. Coinseal utilizes inverted security. If you enter the wrong 4-digit key, the app doesn't deny you.
It opens.
It opens, it accepts the code, and it utilizes the algorithm to unscramble the data based on that wrong key.
So it generates a seed phrase, a fake one.
It generates a seed phrase. It generates 12 or 24 words. They look legitimate. They follow the BIP 39 standard, so they are real crypto words like Apple or Bridge.
Yeah.
But they are mathematically generated nonsense, a decoy.
Whoa. So the thief thinks they're in? They think they hit the jackpot?
They think they've succeeded. They see the words. They start typing them into a wallet to drain the funds. But the wallet is empty, or the address doesn't even exist.
That is diabolical. I love it. It's a honeypot.
It's psychological warfare. A thief might spend hours or days trying to import those decoy words. They'll assume the wallet is empty, or maybe that they made a mistake transcribing them. They won't assume the app deliberately lied to them.
It effectively neutralizes the brute force attack because you never get a confirmation that you've cracked the code. You just get garbage data that looks like gold.
Precisely. It wastes the attacker's time and protects the real asset. And because there are 10,000 combinations, there are essentially 9,999 fake vaults and only one real one. And the app treats them all as valid entries.
That's inverted security. Okay, I get it now. It's using the expectation of success against the attacker. It's a trapdoor that opens into a brick wall.
It completely changes the game theory of the theft. The attacker doesn't know when to stop guessing because every guess looks like a win.
But let's go deeper. Segment 3. The source material talks about superposition and the scrambling mechanics. This is where we need to walk a listener through the workflow because honestly, reading it the first time, I had to reread it to visualize it.
It is a process for sure, but it's designed to be a one-time setup. And interestingly, the source emphasizes that the most critical parts happen completely offline.
Ironically, for a high-tech digital solution, the first step is on paper.
Yes. The How It Works section details that the first 4 steps happen physically to ensure offline security. Let's walk through it step by step so you can picture it. Imagine you have a standard 12-word seed from your MetaMask or Ledger.
Okay, I've got my words written down on a napkin, cat, apple, syntax, and so on.
You don't just type them into Coinseal. That's the first thing to understand. First, you perform what they call word deduction. You deliberately remove one word from your phrase.
Just delete it. Poof.
You memorize it, but you remove it from the written record. The source gives a specific example. Let's say word number 7 is a Ford. You take a Ford out and hold it in your head.
So now I have an 11-word phrase with a hole in the middle. I've broken the key. That list is now useless.
Correct. You have rendered the written list useless on its own. Even if someone finds that list now, it won't work. The checksum is invalid and the entropy is broken. Then you perform the switch.
The switch sounds dramatic.
It is, in a way. You go to the BIP 39 word list, that's the standard dictionary of 2048 crypto words, and you pick a replacement word, a decoy. The source example uses the word power.
Okay, so I took out a Ford, which was the key to my millions, and I'm holding power, which is just a random dummy word.
And you assign power a number. Let's say you assign it to slot 12 or slot 1. You insert it into the list. Now you have 12 words again. But it's a corrupted list. It looks real, but it's a fake key.
It's a poison pill.
Exactly. Now, and only now, are you ready to go digital. You open the Coinseal app.
This is where the interface comes in. They mention glass morphism in the UI design, but what matters is the mechanics, right?
Right. The aesthetics are secondary. You enter the words into the app, but you shift the order. The documentation describes starting the sequence at a random spot and looping back to the beginning.
So if my phrase starts with cat, I might start typing at slot 5.
You type cat into slot 5, then the next word into slot 6, go to the end, and then wrap around to slot 1 to finish the list. You're rotating the sequence.
Okay, let me just recap this because there are 3 layers of obfuscation here. 1, I've removed a real word. 2, I've added a fake word. And 3, I've scrambled the order of the remaining words.
Correct. It is a cocktail of confusion for anyone who isn't you.
And this leads us to the concept of superposition. This is a term borrowed from quantum physics. Usually it refers to a particle existing in all possible states at once until it is measured.
Right. Schrodinger's cat.
Hmm.
Is it alive or dead? It's both until you open the box.
How does that apply to an iPhone app? What does that mean here?
It's about information density and visual obfuscation. The source describes the visual. When you look at the app, you see numbered squares. But the way the data is presented to an observer or a thief looking over your shoulder, every numbered square appears to potentially contain all 2048 possible words.
Wait, literally all of them? How does that work visually?
Think of it like a blur. The interface makes it so that you can't tell which word is locked in. The source says, to a potential thief, even with all the words visible, they will not know the correct order, which word was switched out, or the correct starting point.
So it's not just that the data is encrypted on the chip, it's that even if they crack the encryption and somehow look at the screen, they don't know what they're looking at.
It's the thief's dilemma. Imagine a crossword puzzle where every square could be any letter in the alphabet all at once.
Yeah.
They have to guess. 1, which of the 12 words is the fake one? 2, which of the remaining 2047 words is the real missing one? And 3, what is the correct starting order of the sequence?
The mathematical probability of guessing that is, it must be astronomical.
It involves factorials.
Yeah.
Well, it's effectively impossible. Even if they have the device in the app open, they don't have the key to decipher the visual puzzle. It's just noise to them.
And the only thing that collapses this superposition into a readable, correct key,
Is that 4-digit key we talked about?
the one generated offline that only I know.
Right. That 4-digit key isn't just a password. It is the algorithm's instruction manual. It tells the app, delete the word power, reinsert the word afford at slot 7, and reorder the sequence starting from slot 1. It performs the reverse engineering instantly.
And since Coinseal doesn't know the key, they can't do it for you. If the government subpoenaed Coinseal, they literally couldn't provide your seed phrase because they don't know which word is the fake one either. They don't know anything.
Exactly. It puts the control 100% in the user's hands, but uses the app as a tool to handle the complexity. It's a very elegant use of zero-knowledge principles. It requires the user to participate in their own security, but it makes that participation much, much less burdensome than etching steel plates in your garage.
That is incredibly clever. It feels like a digital puzzle box, but I have to play the skeptic again.
Please do.
Having a key is great. But we talked about the wrench attack. What if someone puts a gun to your head? Or what if someone steals your phone and they happen to know you use your birthday as your PIN? Which, listeners, don't do that.
This is where Coinseal moves beyond the standard crypto security stack. This is the next layer. They introduce Video Verify.
We're all used to 2FA, right? You get a text message code. But we know those are vulnerable to SIM swapping.
SMS 2FA is notoriously weak. It's a huge problem. If a hacker calls your phone company and pretends to be you, they can port your number to a new SIM card. Then they get your codes. Coinseal abandons that entirely for biometric verification.
How does it work? Is it just Face ID?
It's more than Face ID. Face ID just unlocks the phone. This unlocks the vault inside the app. During setup, you record a 10 to 20-second video. The app gives you a randomly generated prompt to recite.
Like the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, something like that.
Exactly. Or Blue Sky, Red River,
Yeah.
77. This isn't just a selfie. It's a video of you speaking, moving, existing. It captures micro-expressions, your voice tonality, the environment, liveness.
Okay, so that's my baseline. That's my reference video.
Correct. That establishes your verification health, as they call it. Now, fast forward. You need to recover your vault. Maybe you got a new phone, or you just need to access your seeds to sell some Bitcoin. You click Recover.
Type my PIN.
You cannot just type your PIN. The field isn't there. You must record a new video first.
A live video, right there on the spot.
A live video reciting a new, randomly generated prompt. The system then compares the new video to the reference video using AI analysis. And here is the kicker. Verification takes time.
How much time? A few seconds.
The source says 24 to 48 hours.
Whoa! A built-in time delay. That seems incredibly annoying. If I want to sell the top of the market, I can't wait 2 days.
It is annoying, I agree. But in security, friction is a feature, not a bug. Think about the wrench attack. If a robber's in your living room, they want the money now. They're on a clock.
That's true. They aren't going to camp out on my couch for 48 hours waiting for the Coinseal servers to verify my video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you tell a robber, okay, I've initiated the unlock, come back in 2 days, the dynamic completely changes. They might take your phone, but they can't force the transfer immediately. It removes the incentive for immediate physical violence to extract the funds.
And I assume if someone stole my phone and tried to spoof it with a deck fake or a photo of me.
The system is designed to detect that. The liveness detection is key here. Plus, the delay gives you time to react. If you get a notification on your email that you are attempting to recover your vault and you aren't doing it,
I can hit the panic button.
exactly, you can cancel the request or wipe the vault remotely. It gives you a crucial window of time.
The source also mentions a verification health scanner. What is that?
It's a proactive feature. It checks for changes in your voice or face over time. We all age. We grow beards, we get glasses, we lose our voice from a cold. It suggests updates every 6 to 12 months to keep the biometric data current, so the system learns and evolves with you.
So only after the biometrics match and the time delay passes, only then does the app even allow you to enter the 4-digit key to unscramble the words.
It's a dual-lock system. It's biometrics, which is who you are, plus knowledge, which is what you know. You need both.
That really does seem to solve the quick theft problem. Now, I want to move to segment 5, the ecosystem, because Coinseal isn't just an app. The source material outlines a whole university of safety features.
They are trying to build a culture of security, not just a tool. And one of the most critical features mentioned is the legacy mode, or the emergency recovery kit.
This is the if I die feature. It's dark, but in crypto, it's a massive problem. If you die and no one knows your seed phrase,
The money is burned. It's effectively a donation to the rest of the network because the supply decreases. I mean, millions, maybe billions of dollars are lost this way every year.
so how does Coinseal handle the Grim Reaper?
They address this with a dead man's switch logic.
How does that function? Is it automatic?
You can set up trusted contacts. If you are inactive for a certain period, let's say 30 days, and you don't respond to prompts from the app, the system can trigger a release of information.
But not just sending the seed phrase to your cousin via email, right? That sounds incredibly risky.
No, that would be totally insecure. The source mentions Shamir's secret sharing logic.
Explain that for the non-technical listener. What is that?
Imagine a pirate map torn into 3 pieces. You give one piece to your spouse, one to your lawyer, and one to your brother. No single person can find the treasure. They have to come together and combine their pieces to reveal the location.
So if my lawyer goes rogue, he can't steal my crypto because he only has 1/3 of the key.
Exactly. He needs the other pieces. So you can set it up so that, say, 2 out of 3 of your trusted people are required to come together to unlock the instructions.
And it mentions time delays here too, like 72 hours after non-response. So if I'm just on a meditation retreat without my phone,
You have time to cancel it before your family thinks you're dead and tries to claim your Dogecoin. It prevents false positives. It puts a buffer between missing and legacy execution.
moving from death to deception, let's talk about the hacker awareness section.
This is the education hub. It's really interesting. They have a red flags guide. The source lists specific scams they train users to spot: fake tech support, airdrop traps, and impersonation calls.
I really like the idea of a scam simulator mentioned in the notes. That seems new.
It's brilliant. Think of it like a flight simulator for pilots. You don't want your first experience with an engine failure to be at 30,000 feet, you know.
And you don't want your first experience with a sophisticated phishing scam to be with your life savings on the line.
Exactly. The simulator sends you fake phishing emails or fake support messages within a safe environment. It trains you to spot the URL discrepancies, the urgent language, the formatting errors. It gamifies security training.
Because you can have the best vault in the world, the best encryption, the best biometrics. But if you voluntarily open the door for a scammer because you thought they were Coinseal support,
The vault doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Social engineering hacks the human, not the machine. Coinseal recognizes that the user is often the weakest link, and they're trying to strengthen that link through education.
and for the people who are listening to this and thinking, I still don't trust an app, I want my paper, I want to hold it, Coinseal actually throws them a bone too.
The interactive paper scrambling tool. This is very clever. They provide a printable scramble sheet with grids and ciphers.
So you can use their scrambling method, the word removal, the shifting, but do it entirely analog
Wow.
with a pen and paper.
Yes. It allows users to practice the method manually. It's a bridge. You can use the logic of Coinseal without the app of Coinseal until you are comfortable. It builds trust, and it lets you verify the math yourself.
It's like training wheels for the algorithm. I dig that.
And it serves as a kind of ultimate backup. If the internet goes down globally, but you have your scrambled paper and you know the algorithm, you can still recover your keys.
Finally, let's look to the future. Segment 6 covers the technical specs and future horizons.
The infrastructure is what you'd expect from a serious security product. Bank-level AES 256 encryption, offline servers, encrypted traffic to thwart interception. That's all table stakes at this point.
That's the baseline, but the source material drops a very buzzwordy phrase that caught my eye: quantum resistance.
It is a buzzword, but in cryptography, it's a real existential threat.
Hmm.
The concept they worried about is harvest now, decrypt later.
That sounds terrifying. What does it mean?
It means hackers or state actors could be intercepting encrypted data today. Right now, they can't read it yet because our encryption AES 256 is too strong for current computers. It would take 1 billion years to crack.
So they're just collecting gibberish, a bunch of useless data.
For now, they store it, they harvest it. Then, in 10 or 15 years, when quantum computers are powerful enough to break AES 256 in seconds,
They unlock the harvest.
they go back and decrypt everything they stored in 2026. All your private messages, financial data, seed phrases, whatever they've collected.
So they're hoarding locked treasure chests, just waiting for the invention of the master key.
Precisely. Coinseal's documentation mentions plans for quantum VPNs and futuristic encryption techniques like lattice-based cryptography to counter this. They are trying to future-proof the user's data against computers that don't even exist yet,
That is forward thinking. And on the flip side, they have something they call mental encryption.
which is really just gamified memory training. Mnemonics, color association, little games. It helps users remember their pins and that one removed word are a forward example without writing it down. It's using the brain as the ultimate secure element.
So, bringing this all together for the outro, we've gone from the anxiety of a fragile piece of paper to a system that uses algorithms, decoys, biometrics, and even quantum proofing.
It's a journey from hiding to obfuscating. It's a fundamental shift. It's recognizing that in a digital world, physical security can actually be a liability. You don't want to bury your gold. You want to turn your gold into invisible math.
The value proposition here is really about solving that paradox we started with. We want security, but we don't want the cumbersome nature of being our own bank. Coinseal claims to be that middle ground.
It simplifies the user experience while complicating the attacker's experience. And that is the ideal trade-off in security design. You want to make it easy for the owner and impossible for the thief.
So here is the provocative thought I want to leave our listeners with today. We always think that seeing is believing. If a thief looks at your wallet, they expect to see the money or the keys.
Right.
But if a thief sees your Coinseal app open and the words are right there in superposition, have you finally achieved true privacy? Is the safest place for your secret not in a dark hole, but right out in the open, buried in a pile of truths and lies?
That's the ultimate question. Security through ambiguity. It's a powerful concept.
Something to think about next time you check the lock on your safe. For the learner out there, take a look at how you're storing your keys. Is it time for an upgrade? Thanks for diving deep with us.
Stay secure, everyone.
See you next time.